maybe I'm going to start. Peter. So right, so we will start. Okay, so I would like to thank you, Peter, again for introducing all of us, and also Alex in the back. And would also like to thank Japan Society and BPO and ACA, and most importantly, Director Nakano Kantoku for this great opportunity to experience some of your recent films in New York City. And would like to keep this occasion conversational and informal. And so to just initiate and warm up the conversation, it was great to learn that you had this quintessential New York experience in the morning, this morning, running in Central Park. And you arrived yesterday morning in New York and showcased your commercial feature-length debut film last night here at Japan Society, and you showed 2 more films today here again Japan Society too. And you mentioned that yesterday that you are very curious to and excited about learning how New Yorkers respond to your films. And I just wonder, I would like to start by asking you how you observed the experience, how you observed the way New Yorkers responded to your film. So, you guys are known for being a bit picky about.
昨日の上映も今日の上映も途中から僕は後ろでずっと実は皆さんのリアクションを見てたんですけども。
So yesterday, yesterday and today, I was actually in the back of the auditorium and watching film with you guys and feeling your reactions.
でもう笑ってくれて、きっと泣いてくれて、もう多分今まで言ったどこよりも反応してくれるお客さんだなっていうふうに思いました。
And you all just laughed so hard, and people cried. And in my experience, you guys had the best reactions ever.
それは本当に監督にとっては一番のご褒美、一番嬉しいことなんです。
As a film director, the reactions you guys gave, it was like everything to me. And thank you so much.
さすがニューヨーカーはもう毎日朝からセントラルパークを走っていて体力を笑う体力リアクションの体力をつけてるなって感心しました。
I guess you have the stamina because you guys are running around Central Park every day and you have the stamina to have all kinds of reactions out.
Thank you.
Yeah, we do enjoy sort of physically the films. Yeah, that's how we do. And there also, so we wanted to talk a little bit about the today's film, especially the ASADAS, the film that we all watched right now. And but we were also thinking and hoping to expand our conversation to make comments and observations and having conversations about this entire series, this family in flux as well. So. The ASADAS, the film you just shared with us, it is about the family as well, and but it is also about the real family, the actual existing Asadake as well. And I'm pretty sure all of us, including myself, are very curious about how you end up finding such a singular subject matter as Asadake. So if you could share some of the stories behind it.
実は最初にそのプロデューサーが僕にやってほしい映画があるんだっていうふうに紹介されて、いきなり見せられたのが写真集だったんですね。
So one day, actually, it was a producer who presented me the photo book of the ASADAS.
で写真集を見たときに家族がいろんなコスプレをして写真撮っていて、これは絶対にこの過程に至るまでにね、ドラマが隠れてるっていうことは僕はすぐにこう見て自分も想像したし、よく分かったんです。
So right at the moment I saw the photo books and seeing all the photos that Asada took with all family members are cosplaying as all kinds of characters, and there's gotta be some drama to ended up taking those photos.
So when was that first encounter with that photo book? This project started.
2017かそれぐらいに見せていただい
It was
て
about
その2年後ぐらいに映画を完成しているので、はい、それなんです。
And after I was presented this photo book, and in 2 years I was already in the shooting and finished editing. Yes.
それでその取材、浅田家の実際の浅田家の皆さんに取材をしたら、やっぱり面白いエピソードがわんさかこう溢れてきて、それでプラスその浅田さんが震災で写真を洗っているっていうところまで分かって、僕はもうそっちにももうとても惹かれてしまって、これは映画として伝えなきゃいけないっていうすごい思いがあって、この映画はもう一気にこう映画化に進んでいったっていう形ですね。
So actually, I interviewed. I went to Asada house and I interviewed Mr. Asada. And as I expected, there were so many awesome episodes or stories he shared. And actually, right then, I found out that Asada actually, when Japanese earthquake happened, 2011. March 11th, and he was there right after that, and not taking photos, but he was washing the dirt, all the photos that they found, and the fact that he was doing so, it intrigued me to film this movie.
If I could follow up with a question from the audience. This is from Jessica. It's a very similar question. She'd love to know, with this film based on real people and recent events, was there anything that you had to very specifically pay attention to? Any big focus that you wanted to get right?
Sorry, could you?
Yep. With this film based on real people and real life events, was there anything that you paid specific focus to, specific attention to?
やはりその震災を描く上で最初は怖かったです。これを描くっていうのは怖かったんですけども、実際に現地に取材を行っていろんな話が実はここに入ってるんですけども、それでやっぱりちょっと心配をしていた、皆さんが悲しみを抱えていてそれを映画にしていいのかっていう思いがあったんですけど、震災から7年8年が経っていったら、もう皆さん僕らが考えているよりも全然前を向かれてたんですね。もちろん悲しみは背負われているけども前を向いていて、僕それを見た時にこれは全然映画化していいんだと、僕のテイストで映画化していいんだと。でも絶対に自分の中に決めたのは、その人たちに恥ずかしくない映画を撮ることっていうのだけは絶対自分の中に決めてっていうのがありました。
So, to make a film about any sort of natural disaster, especially this Tohoku, the earthquake, I wasn't sure if I was ready to portray such a disaster. And actually, when I actually visited northern part of Japan and interviewed a lot of victims, people there, and still wondering, should I make this film? Am I ready? Right then, it was already 7 years, 8 years past, and I realized every people I interviewed, they were very optimistic already. They were moving forward. Yes, it was very hard for them, and it was very clear to me, but they were living in the future, towards the future. So that's the very moment I felt, I guess I am ready to make this film, and if I make this film, I need to make this one I can be proud of to all the people who suffered from this disaster.
Well, if I can, I'd just like to echo and to extend thanks on behalf of all of us to Director Nakano for his great energy, his presence, his willingness to be here, to hang out in New York for a few days, and to make films of this kind. And I put it that way. These are dramas about ordinary people. I mean, there's something, yeah, obsessional and crazy about the young photographer. But beyond that, he's got a human form. Even when they're dressed up as superheroes, they collapse, right? Because they can't bear the weight of all that costumery. These are dramas made on a human scale with tremendous actors. I mean, whoever we can maybe ask a question about who casted these films. But one after another, you've made family dramas, right? You're going up against kaiju, you're going up against monster films constantly, you're going up against anime with regularity. And I guess I have a question: how do you survive making films of the kind that you do, drenched in human feeling and emotion? As you said, like it pulls you in. I saw it, I screened it. I didn't have anything like the reaction to the film, just screening it at home, that I did with all of you here tonight. And it was tremendous, and it was a reminder again of what film can do to pull people together and to hold them, bring them out into a real space and to react with one another. And it's tremendous. And again, I just want to extend, a deep thanks to you for making films like that. But the question is, can you keep doing it? Can you battle through all of this?
全然チャレンジじゃなくて、僕は人から家族をずっとテーマにしているのは、もう要するに世界中の人が唯一無二で一緒の感覚でいれるっていうのは家族の感覚っていうふうに思っているので、ちゃんと日本の小さな一つの家族を描こうとも、それは完全に世界とつながっているなっていう僕は思いがあるので、全然チャレンジングになる。
So he knows families, right? And he's good with family drama. He's going to keep knocking it out. But I want to go back to that. Pardon?
He has to actually translate the answer because we're supposed to listen to him, not you.
So actually, it wasn't really a challenge to me per se, because a family, this theme is very theme that we can all relate to. No matter you are from any country, any culture, we have family. We are born from mother, and no matter, so it's very relatable. So it speaks to me more than anything to make family-themed film. So it's not really a challenge for me.
All right, follow up on that. So the photographer goes to Tohoku. Sorry, the photographer, my wife reminds me of goes to Tohoku and doesn't take pictures himself. He cleans pictures, right, taken by others, you might say amateurs, family members. And it's a very moving, it's a very poignant kind of experience. I think we all go through it. But it reminds me of what maybe as a filmmaker you would do, because as you're saying, family drama has a long, deep tradition. Just looking at modern Japanese literature and film, right? We agree? Like, it's hard to not think of modern Japanese film and not, think of the great films of Ozu, one of which was in the series, Koreeda's films, whether early Koreeda or late Koreeda. And I don't want to suggest that that is, director Nakano, is necessarily Ozu-esque or Koreeda-esque in the way he does things, but surely he's aware of that long, deep history of movies made about families in Japan. It's very rich, it's a very deep core. And I wonder if he is like, it's sort of like, okay, you're kind of washing off the genre, the family film genre. And I wonder if there are any films earlier in the tradition about families that were moving to you.
実は僕は映画少年でも何でもなかったんです。大学卒業25歳ぐらいまで全然映画を見たことがない人間だったので、その誰かに影響されるっていうのはあんまりなかったんですよね。でも映画をやりだして、もちろんやっぱり是枝監督の作品っていうのは全部見てるし、どこかで自分は影響されてるっていうのも分かっているし、でもだからって真似事は僕は絶対したくないので、僕だけしか描けないようなオリジナルな家族映画ってなんだろうなっていうのを追求して作っている感じです。
So, I wasn't really a film kid. So I didn't really watch films until when I was 25, and I know nothing
Same,
about
girl,
films,
same.
but that was me right back then. But since I started my career, I've watched all of the director Koreeda's films, and yes, maybe somehow his film affected my creations, but the one thing that I want to say is that I didn't really want to mimic what he did or what he has done, and so that's like one of the reasons why I always explore what is my originality in terms of making films. So that's my answer.
Peter, do you have any relevant question?
I do. I would love to ask, this is a question, give me one moment. It's a question from John. This is a film about a photographer. How involved or how conscious were you of the cinematography of this film?
Sorry, could you?
So this is a film about photography. How conscious, how important was the cinematography, the look of this film in a film about photography?
写真家が主役の映画なので、あと浅田さん、今回はその浅田正という写真家なんですけど、とても僕と似た 境遇があって、彼も次男坊で、僕も次男坊で、親を兄ちゃんが面倒見ながら、弟の僕はなんか自由に映画撮ってたりとか、なんかそういう部分がとても共感することがあって、でも一つ最後お母さんが言う言葉で、あんたは好きなことをやりなさい、時々家族を喜ばしてくれたらええからねって、それはきっと自分に言ってるんですよね。それは自分に向けて言ってるような言葉で、なんかそういうふうに作ったりとか、だからまあフィルムメーカーと写真家ってやっぱり似てるところがとてもあるので、全然すんなり扱えたというか、そんな感じです。
So this protagonist was the photographer Asada Masashi, and there are lots of part that I can relate to him. And he is a second child, like I was, and the older brother always takes care of younger siblings, and younger siblings are always be freedom, and do whatever they want, and that was exactly how I was. And so there are so many elements that I could have relate to. I could have relate to. So that's one thing, and another thing is that the mother's line, it says, you do whatever you want, but sometime here and then just come back and make us happy, or so that line is, yes, it's Asada's mother's line, her words, but it was almost like this line was for me too. And so like filmmaking and photographer, it's quite different, but in a way it's kind of very similar.
Thank you. This is a related question from Simon. You just spoke about how you drew from your own family a little bit. Family is always your focus. How much do you pull from your own family to create these stories?
Um, 僕の映画って大体母親が強くて、父親がダメかいないかどっちかなんですけど、まあうちの家族もそうだったんですね。そうだったというか、まあ6歳で父親が亡くなって僕は母に育てられて父をほとんど知らないので、そういう境遇があるんですけど、まあそれをまんまやってるつもりは全然なくて、でももう僕はそういう土台で育っているから、そこから生まれるものとしてはもちろん自分の感情をうまく使ってるけど、まあでも半分もないですよ。40%とか30%ぐらいは自分の実体験とかっていうのは使っていると思い
ます。So I lost my father when I was 6, and so my mother kind of took care of me since then, and I don't really know the father figure. And in my movie, there's always, I portray strong mother figure and not so strong father figure. So that's the opposition that I present in my films. And it's just because I had these experiences when I was a kid. And so because of this fundamental experiences, yes, maybe it is affected in a way, unintentionally maybe, but maybe 30-40% I draw from my own experience.
Well,
Thank-
the mother here is a great nurse and a great caretaker, but she's an even better gangster. Better gangster is what I say.
We're almost out of time. Paul or Takuya, any last questions?
Well, just very quickly in relation to the, so you did mention it's wonderful that you you envision that your family drama sort of pointing toward this international and global appeal, and then, but I also want to contrast that in terms of the locality or the sentiment surrounding the local in your film. And so I just wonder, including today's film as well, the ASADAS is based in Mie Prefecture, and also the films you showed us last night, it is not centered around Tokyo. So I just wonder, and it is some details get lost in translation, but it's wonderful to see those fantastic top-rated actors and actresses really working along with dialects. And those are some of the wonderful details that the viewers in Japan really appreciate, I'm pretty sure. And just wonder if you have any thoughts on this global, local, and the sort of the, not, I don't want to say tension, but this negotiation when you approach this such a universal topic as family. And it may have something to do with sort of your biological, perhaps, with the past. You know, you grew up in Kyoto, but I just wonder if you have any sort of thoughts on that.
やっぱりその日本らしさを描きたいっていうのはどうしてもあって、プラス家族のつながりとか絆とかって描くのであると、やっぱり東京だと少し僕もそうですけど、東京って地方から来た人の集まりだから、そのもちろんつながりはあるんだけど、より強い家族とか地とか土地のつながりっていうのを描きたい、家族の描きたいんだと地方の方が僕はうってつけだと思うし、先ほど言ったように方言なんかも温かみがある、すごいその土地のつながりなんかも表現できるので、僕は地方で撮った方、日本の地方で撮った方がより世界に発信できるんじゃないかなっていうふうに思ってます。
So I always would like to express the uniqueness of Japanese culture, and plus the family bond, and to place, if we were to place in Tokyo, it's not it's quite not strong enough as an impact compared to local outside of the small towns, because outside of countryside they have strong dialects and strong bonding and within the families, and it's very community compared to Tokyo. They're very diverse city, but in the local area I feel like there are stronger bonding family in a community, and on top of that, any sort of dialect bring more uniqueness into in terms of storytelling. So I would like to keep going with the concept that keep shooting or shooting in a local area in Japan that makes more interesting to international audience.
あともう一つ、東京はなかなかこの撮影の許可も下りづらいっていうね、そういうリアルなものもあってですね、だからニューヨークみたいに、ニューヨークはスパイダーマンが自由に使えるじゃないですか、ニューヨークの街を。でも東京は使いづらいっていうのは実はそういうのもあります。
So, technically speaking, in Tokyo, it's really hard to get permissions to shoot in public. But here in New York City, Spider-Mans are flying around, and I'm so jealous here people to shoot here in the United States.
I think we're just out of time, so I'm curious, Nakano-san, do you have any last messages for your audience in New York?
だから僕は家族をとっていて、だから皆さんが知っていることを僕はきっと描いてるだけ、知っていることをもう一度何か気づいてくれたらなって思って家族を描いていると思います。それで、浅田家を取った時にちょうど子供が生まれた時だったんですね、私の。でまだ父親になってから僕は映画を撮っていないからまた今新たなその家族の思いっていうのが生まれたので、その思いっていうのをまた映画にして皆さんに見てもらえるように、またニューヨークで上映できるように頑張ります、という感じです。
So I am going to keep making films about families. But all the films that I make is something that you already know as one of your family members, and hoping that through watching my movie, maybe you realize what you already have or what you already experienced, and there's one story I would love to share. Is that during the shooting process, I became a father. So after I became a father, I haven't made any films yet. So from now on, it will give me so much motivations and ideas of what the family would like, or the definition of what the family is, and I'm going to keep exploring it and making films, and hopefully I will come back here in New York City to present that films to you guys. Thank you so much.
A big thank you to our friends at Ryota, our friends at ACA, Paul, Takuya, and of course, a massive round of applause to director Ryota Nakano.